inspection every summer. That just would not happen. We had agreed that some dummy cameras would go out. There had been things that were agreed upon. My piece at this point is, I understand the desire for a meeting. There are some things, if we go back and pull those notes up, that we actually have a plan. We have to actually put those things into place. My concern is, we said the lighting for back here would be so illuminated they wouldn't want to come back here. That was the discussion. And again, all that portion, and I understand the dollar piece, but that portion is Lansing School District. The woods, we haven't had, that was our concern. We came out, we cleaned it, we pushed it back, we cut through it. That was cleared out from the Lansing side. At this point, how often are we rotating back here? We know it's a problem area. That was the other agreement, was that there would be an increased patrol that would come actually back and check, because as they drive by, bless their hearts, and do a fantastic job driving by and patrolling. Jason really is a presence, and we appreciate that. But you can't see any of that from the street, and that was pointed out very specifically. And as well as when we talked about the basketball courts going up front, that we had that difficulty at Wainwright. And when we put them up front, that allowed the drive-by incidents of music and of speeding and of to just escalate to a point where it was under control, and they had to be taken out and tennis courts put in, and the courts being completely moved in a different direction. Is that an option? Literally, I know it's a school, you want it to function as a school cabinet member for another district, I understand that. But I also understand that I got the call from the news station when they ran that piece, and I declined to comment because the angle was, aren't you scared with all of the escalation in the violence in the south end of town? Not only do we not, I don't know if there's Wes, not only do we not want to have it be that we don't want to live in a neighborhood where there are guns and shootings, we don't want to be labeled as the dangerous side of town, the violent side of town, and we're headed right there, and we're at the beginning break of summer. We don't want that. We've got some phenomenal things coming up this summer. We've got Boogie on the Boulevard. We've got Barbecue on the Boulevard, where the businesses on MLK have come together to try and help to make sure that there is a pleasant, pleasing look. They're working on lights. Too much good is starting to happen in this whole area for us to say, well, we'll sit and talk about it through another summer. I mean, at this point, if I have to give my entire office budget, if I have to also make other contributions, we've got to do something, because we can't go through a summer like this. I agree, in the economic environment that we're in, there are some other outlets that people just don't have, and they take it out wherever they can, by spray painting, by other violent acts. But we can't afford that. This is a child-based, family-oriented neighborhood. And that frightens me if we're not going to leave this meeting with, all right, you're doing this as far as putting something in place. I'm doing this as far as putting it in place. Instead of, well, we'll meet 3 more times, and then in the interim, we have something happen. So I'm pledged and committed. If I have to be the one, I don't know what the lights cost or whatever it is, but at this point, I'll take whatever piece I can and make sure that it's done. It may not be the end-all, be-all, but we got to do something. If that's what kickstarts this whole thing, then let's figure out what it is and what we can each do right now.